I know, drop shipping as a buzzword has been there, like especially in e-commerce and Shopify. It is there from last 2, 3, 4 years, and then there are a lot of people. So, from what I have seen in different groups or in the communities, like 90% of the people they don't see success with drop shipping, right? And that's why,
Yeah, like any business.
any business, right? And the reasons that they give is like that one, it doesn't work, which we have already covered, that it does work if you if you are ready to like invest time in it, right? So that part we have covered. The second is like drop shipping market is already saturated, like so there is not much now to explore. So what's your take on this thing? Like, is this market already saturated? Do you still
There is no such thing as dropshipping market.
okay? All right,
There
so
is every niches has a market,
hmm
and dropshipping is a way to fulfill
hmm
the shipping.
right,
So
right.
it's not a market per se.
hmm
And you have the dropshipping, like I said, from China.
hmm
Like take about a week to 2 weeks. It depends
exactly.
how good is your agent or
Right,
your supplier.
right.
But you also can supply from a local
hmm
supplier that dropship for you,
all right, all right,
and the delivery could be 1 to 3 days.
right.
So the customer, they will never know you're dropshipping.
Absolutely.
Even I told you my last client with the
hmm
bill bulky items,
hmm
they ship in 2 or 3 days.
wow.
So how can you know they are dropshipping? How can you
Absolutely,
know?
absolutely, yeah. Even if you like
They have their
have
label, they have their logo on the products.
right.
They even sell machines
Uh-huh.
like professional machines
Uh-huh.
with their logo, with their colors and everything. So
Yeah,
how can you know?
absolutely. Like if someone is like forget about like 2, 3 days, even if someone is like even if someone is able to kind of deliver products in 7 to 10 days, like it's the best. Like I mean, you can't even make whether it's drop shipped or uh delivered from an inventory, because drop shipping normally, like I mean, so normally when people think about drop shipping, because they are sourcing from countries like China, so they keep delivery period is like 2 to 3 weeks, and that's where it gets tough. So yeah, I think that's a valid point here.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks is good if your product is cheap or
Mhm.
if you're just starting. But
Right.
2 to 3 weeks is it's a bit long.
It is
So
a bit,
usually
yeah.
1 to 2 weeks is it's
Yeah.
a better thing if you scale a bit better, and if you have
Right.
a bigger business, try to keep it within 2 weeks.
Right. So as in, like I mean, you just said like drop shipping is not a market; it is more like a channel, a way to deliver products or like run the e-commerce business without having inventory, right? So like I mean, if someone wants to work with it, it can still be done in 2020, right? It's not saturated basically.
No, it will never be. Actually, dropshipping has been here for even centuries if you think about it, because people was selling you stuff they didn't have.
Right. Right.
Even centuries ago, they were selling you seeds. You pay
Yes.
for the seeds, and
Right.
they ask another guy to deliver it. It is dropshipping.
Right, totally, totally agree. Yeah, that's a valid
So
point. Yeah,
it's not new at all. It will never die.
right, right, right. Uh, so I mean, I think we have already covered this thing, but then I again want to like kind of want to go a step further in this thing. So let's say because 90% of the audience they still look for countries like China and all to drop ship. So uh, when it comes to finding supplies, right? One way is to like look at all those events and attend those events to find out suppliers, but that is one way. And for that, like you need to be in those events, physically present in those events and attend those events, right? But let's say for someone who's just like is starting off and cannot afford to or cannot attend those events, right? For those guys, like I mean, let's say the only way they have is like to find supplies on platforms like AliExpress or similar platforms, right? So for those guys, how do you suggest, like how should they go about finding the suppliers? Like, is there a way to ensure that yes, this supplies are good and this supply is not good, and how can they do it here?
We are talking about China, right?
Yes, basically AliExpress. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, first and foremost, I would say I don't advise right now to dropship from China because the political stuff over there.
Yeah.
It's not about to stop,
Uh-huh.
as far as I know.
Mhm.
So wait to have more information to
Mhm.
know how it will
Right, right,
pursue.
right.
But let's say you want to.
Mhm.
So I have some dropshipping business I started using AliExpress because
Mhm.
when I started, me too, I used AliExpress.
Mhm.
And but the only difference is because I used to live in China, so
Mhm.
I try to find suppliers that are located in Shenzhen
Mhm.
because that's where I go every year.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so at first, you have to filter on the AliExpress for how long the supplier has been on the platform,
Mhm.
how reliable they are, and you have plugins to help you these days,
Yeah. Yeah.
which I didn't have at the time.
Mhm.
And but now you have, I think it's Asify, I think the name
Yeah.
is it.
There.
I don't have the computer on it,
Uh-huh.
but Asify I think is the name, and
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
can give you a good insight on how good is the supplier.
All right.
But you have to build your store around it, and you have to make a few orders to see the
Mhm.
packaging. Are they including their flyers or not?
Mhm.
Do they ship fast? Will you need an agent, or is the supplier fine?
Mhm.
Because on the AliExpress you have a lot of suppliers that are actually very good, and
Mhm.
they like the few dropshipping business I still have
Mhm.
use AliExpress,
Right. Right.
and I just don't shut them down because they are
Mhm.
very good. They
Right.
are almost fully automated.
Mhm.
The supplier is very good. It's been here for I think 6 or 7 years,
Mhm.
and it's shipped to France, which is my main country of sales,
Uh-huh.
within let's say 10 days,
Mhm.
and which is very good
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah.
These days, I mean.
Uh-huh.
So it's very great. The packaging is nice. The
Mhm.
quality is outstanding.
Perfect.
So you can find good products on the
Mhm.
AliExpress. And
Right.
as I said, I always find my suppliers in the same city
Right.
because in the future, when your business will be good,
Mhm.
you can just go to the city,
Mhm.
meet the supplier, negotiate stuff you want
Right.
to negotiate, like
Right.
prices maybe,
Uh-huh.
quality, custom packaging,
Mhm.
whatever, or just visit the factory, the office, whatever. It in China, as I said, it's very good to meet in person
Right. Mhm.
because it's the way you do business there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you met them,
Mhm.
they will be more serious about the business with you. If
Absolutely.
you just meet them through AliExpress,
Uh-huh. They'll be like,
when they have the chance to scam you, they will.
they will. Yeah.
So it's better to be friend with them than just a customer they don't know about.
Right. Right.
And I know all of my suppliers.
Mhm.
I visit them almost every year.
Mhm.
Most of them are my friends now, and
Uh-huh.
I do other business with them because they have factories, they have warehouses. So they are partners for other business other than the dropshipping one. But
Right. Right.
as I said, you are just starting on AliExpress. AliExpress is good to start, but
Mhm.
you need to see the step after
Right. Right.
always.
Right. So I think it's all about the relationship that you build with your suppliers, because
Yes.
like if you just have a transactional relationship, you will not build that bond with them, and then that's when, like, I mean, whenever they get a chance, they can probably scam you, right? I think that's a very
Yes.
valid point, that yes, to build those relationship with your, and another point that you mentioned about is like checking on the quality of packaging, delivery, and everything. So do you suggest, let's say someone wants to start with drop shipping and looking at suppliers at AliExpress, so is it a good idea to kind of place a couple of orders initially for themselves, so that you can, when you receive the order, you can see the quality of it and the packaging of it
You
and all.
must. You must.
All right.
And not just one supplier. When you pick a supplier, you need to pick at least, at the very least, three.
Okay.
And you take an order on the three suppliers
Oh, all
just to
right.
see the packaging, how fast they ship.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk a bit with them
Mm-hmm.
before and after
Uh-huh.
the order to see how fast they respond.
Uh-huh.
If they have a good English, which
Mhm.
if you don't speak Chinese, obviously
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
better. and you need to know everything.
Right.
And eh, like you said, because me, I speak a bit of Chinese. My wife is Chinese, and
All right.
often I get hired by companies because they have trouble with their supply chain in China,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and most of the time they have a supplier they work for years,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily in dropshipping.
Mm-hmm.
And just one day, the supplier stopped sending the items.
Uh-huh.
It's been 3 weeks. The
Uh-huh.
supplier don't reply to email, don't
Right.
answer the phone. It's
Nothing. Yeah.
and the customer they wait for 3 weeks,
Right.
and and actually the factory they just got another client
Uh-huh.
and bigger than you, and they served it before.
Uh-huh.
And because they never met the factory doesn't care about them. And that's
Absolutely.
why I say, as soon as your business is big enough,
Uh-huh.
just take the plane and meet them.
Right. That's a wonderful advice. Yeah, relationship building
Or
is
at
the key.
the very least, talk to them on the AliExpress platform. And once you get the chance, talk with them outside of their AliExpress platform, like on WhatsApp. Most of you guys like WhatsApp. I
Yeah.
personally prefer WeChat because just Chinese people, they
Chinese
prefer
people.
WeChat.
Right.
So I use what they like,
Uh-huh.
and they like me for that.
That's a wonderful point. Like, if you are making them comfortable, making them feel at home,
Yes,
nothing like that, right? Like, they'll see
yes.
that as a business
You need
owner,
to be their friend.
absolutely. Yeah. They'll also feel that as a business owner, you're not just trying to get the product, you're actually taking a step forward and putting in efforts to build relationship with them, and that
Yes.
everyone appreciates that. Yeah. So that's a very
Yeah,
valid.
because we in the West, I don't know if you consider India West or East
No,
actually.
no. In India is
Um,
still East. Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
more West.
Yeah.
I think it's more West in the mind of
Uh-huh.
doing business.
Yeah.
And in the West, we like to do business. It's only business. Like you
Mhm.
take my money, I give you a good service, everyone's happy.
Right.
In China, it's not the way it is. In
Uh-huh.
China, first I mean, you can do that, but
Mhm.
on the long run, it's not very good.
Right.
You need to be friend with the people you work with.
Hmm.
First, on the big contracts,
Hmm.
the custom in China is to have a dinner
Right.
before talking business.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
first, you arrive, you have a cup of tea, you have dinner, and
Mhm.
maybe you talk business the day after.
All
But
right.
business is it's not the first thing. First, they have to like you,
Right.
and once they like you,
They'll give you
everything will
business.
be fine. Even if the price is not good, the quality is not good, you can talk about it. It's
Hmm.
it's okay. In China, everything you can do everything.
Perfect. Yeah.
There is no problem in China.
That's a wonderful advice. Yeah. That's a wonderful.